How do you become a guest on podcasts? If you are a coach, if you are a service provider, if you are a consultant, if you are a freelancer, and you really want to market yourself using podcast guesting, I've got you. I have been on over 100 podcasts and counting, and I have a pitch that hosts consistently call the best they've ever seen. But most people pitch themselves completely incorrectly, and they don't wind up getting on podcasts, and they don't wind up being able to use those shows to grow their credibility, to connect with new audiences, and to get new clients. Today, I want to teach you how to do all of that and to create your own wonderful pitch that gets yeses. Go ahead and hit subscribe and hit that like button so that you can get more trainings like this one, because I promise you it's going to be gold. If we haven't yet met, my name's Christine McAlister. I'm the founder of Life with Passion, where I help high achievers to quit their jobs, to start and grow online businesses, and to make six figures and more with only a laptop and an internet connection. I'm the #1 best-selling author of The Income Replacement Formula, 7 Simple Steps to Doing What You Love and Making six figures from Anywhere. And like I said, I have been on over 100 podcasts and counting, from huge ones like Entrepreneurs on Fire to little ones and everything in between. I've learned the secrets of how to get on podcasts and get clients out of those podcasts, and also make those hosts my friends. So today I have 3 awesome tips for you about how to create a pitch that gets a yes. Are you ready? Number 1, this is something almost no one does, but it is going to get noticed if you do it, okay? Invest the time to find some common interests with the host or with what they talk about on the show. This means listening to 1, or even better, 2 episodes that are recent of that show and looking for common ground. This means visiting the About page or checking out the bio of the host on their website. This means Googling. This means finding some things you have in common. Find 3 or 4 things you have in common and list those in your pitch. Tell them that you know that you all would create a great show together because you have these things in common. That's a huge head above everybody else who sends a standard pitch that is the same for everyone. Don't do that. You can have some things that you include for everyone, but the things that should be different for every single person are those common interests, those commonalities, the common ground. Find things that you share, things that you like about what they're doing. Maybe it's shared values, maybe it's a shared hobby, or maybe it's something that you both love, like wine. It doesn't matter. Maybe you both love dogs. Maybe you used to live in the place where they live, or you visited, or whatever. Find that common ground. It stands out when you're scrolling through pitch after pitch, looking for somebody who's going to come on and be a real human and help make a great show for this audience that they've worked so hard to build. Tip number 2, make the job of the host easy for them and suggest 3 to 5 expert topics that they could talk to you about. Make it super easy to make you look good and for them to decide what you're going to talk about. Don't make them ask you, what are you good at? What would you like to talk about? What are your areas of expertise? You identify the ones that you can talk about and that they already like to talk about on their show. If I am pitching a show about quitting your day job, I'm going to talk about the things that I know my clients deal with, which are like self-doubt, fear, overcoming procrastination. If I'm talking to somebody who has a side hustle podcast, I'm going to talk about things like how to build your side hustle into your full-time gig, even when you're working a day job. If I am pitching somebody who's talking to full-time entrepreneurs, I'm going to talk about things like how to become more visible, how to get more clients, how to get yourself out of your own way to get where you want to be, how to overcome your fears, how to focus, how to simplify. I'm going to look at the topics that they've had in the past and I am going to choose something that makes sense from my areas of expertise that aligns with the kinds of things that they like to talk about. This is going to make their job so much easier and show, again, just like the commonalities that you discovered earlier and identified for them, that you have done your homework on their show and you are going to record a great episode and be a super valuable guest for them. Now, I want to know, have you tried to pitch yourself to podcasts before? Have you developed a pitch, or have you not even started because you haven't known how to pitch? Maybe you have some questions about what should go on the pitch. Let me know in the comments below so that I can answer them for you. And tip number 3, I want you to include a short, powerful bio that establishes your credibility markers. That's what they call them in the PR, press, media industry, and really highlights the results that you've gotten for yourself, for your clients, and what it is that you do and why you're so great at it. If you've been featured any other places, like for me, I've been featured in Inc. and Business Insider, I've been featured in Entrepreneurs on Fire, I'm gonna mention those things. I'm gonna seed that credibility. I'm gonna talk about how I lead a community of over 2,000 entrepreneurs online. I'm gonna talk about my book. I'm gonna talk about who I help and how I help them and the name of my company. And I'm going to also keep it short. I'm going to keep it between 50 and 100 words. If you don't have those credibility pieces yet, no worries. I didn't either when I started going on podcasts. You're just going to talk about who you help, how you help them, and why you do it. Put your passion into it. Let that come across. Let your own energy come across in that bio, and include that in that pitch to make it really easy for them to scan and learn a little bit more about you, again, without having to ask. You want to make this as easy for them as you possibly can so that they can just hit reply and say yes to your pitch. And that's it. Those are my top 3 tips for getting on a podcast by creating a pitch that is going to be among the best that the host has ever seen. Do this and you will stand out among the rest of the pitches that come in. Now, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, would you click subscribe and hit like? I would be so grateful. And if you want the rest of my tips for how to grow your influence, grow your network, grow your income and impact from podcast guesting, then I invite you to go to lifewithpassion.com/powerhouse, where you are going to get my top tips to learn how I have gotten on over 100 podcasts without spending a penny on ads or a PR subscription or outsourcing in any other way. We'll put that in the description for you below so you can easily click lifewithpassion.com/powerhouse to get my top tips for becoming a podcast guest powerhouse. I'll see you next week for more tips.